So guys, I'm currently at work. I was doing something and I I think it's very important that maybe most of us that are Nigerians, if you're a Nigerian and you're online and you love your country and you love to respect elders and you love to talk about legacy, I would like you to come forward and maybe at least chip in your 10, your 20%, your whatever percent. Your opinion is necessary. Because in cases like this, if most of us just keep quiet and think everything is fine, it's good, it's okay, that's how most of these things will continue. Now, what am I trying to talk about? Just give me a minute, I'm coming. On this issue of battle for supremacy, or probably who's more popular, I'm bigger than you, I'm bigger than this, I'm bigger than him, I'm more influential than him, should never have gone to FELA. Should never has gone to FELA. I have my reasons for saying all these things. So normally things like this are, I don't normally put my mouth in things like this, but I have my reasons for saying all these things I'm saying now. This battle should never have gone to FELA. Do you know why I'm saying this? FELA is that one person that has created legacy that I don't think any other current musician can actually do. His legacy lives on. Nobody can actually match up his energy. And when this issue started, a lot of you think that Sheun was the one actually who provoked Wizkid. But I can tell you as far back as 2-3 years ago, when Wizkid fans started this very comparison, they started this comparison of saying Wizkid has achieved everything that FELA cannot achieve. And there was a time that Burna Boy fans also came out to say something similar to this. Do you know what Burna did? Burna immediately shut that up by letting them know that no, the only artist greater than him is FELA. Burna said that. Now, I'm not saying Wizkid doesn't love FELA. I'm not saying Wizkid does not have respect, maximum respect for FELA. Seun Kuti saw those things coming from the FCs. Seun Kuti saw all those messages and all those comparisons coming from the FCs. Seun Kuti saw all these messages. It didn't just start last year. It started like 2 years or 3 years ago. Seun Kuti was expecting Wizkid to at least step forward and talk to his fans that, come on, you guys need to stop this. Stop the comparison. Baba na Baba. There's no point of me comparing myself to Baba. I no fit dey compare myself to FELA. Abeg, make una stop. Make una no dey do this kind comparison. E no really make sense. That na wetin Seun dey expect Wizkid to talk. For Wizkid to address him own fans, talk to them, say, come, this thing una dey do, e no make sense. Make una stop am. FELA na Baba. But Wizkid kept quiet and his fans keep doing this comparison for a very, very long time. So now Seun come vex burst out, wetin dey sup? How una go dey compare my dad to Wizkid? Una stop am. So when Seun come step outside begin talk all this one wey dey talk, so Seun dey talk am out of anger because say Wizkid no gree address him fans. Na im make Seun vex talk wetin he talk so. As Seun vex talk wetin he talk, Wizkid reply to am. Now, I wouldn't have faulted anything Wizkid replied. I would have taken everything Wizkid replied as a perfect reply. If Wizkid has gone for Seun, Match him man to man. Ask him why is it that he's not able to get to your level. I wouldn't have been angry if Wizkid abused Seun from now till next year. I will not be angry. I will be okay with it. If Wizkid has faced Seun, abuse him and deal with him, I won't be angry. But you know one thing Wizkid did? Wizkid abused Seun's wife. Bringing family into this matter. Wizkid abused Seun's wife. Wizkid dey tell Seun woman say na ugly woman. They ask am whether he knack an ugly woman. Wizkid was not supposed to go to Seun's wife. Wizkid was supposed to abuse Seun. Even if Wizkid abuse Seun from now till next year, me I no go vex because Seun deserve am. Seun provoke Wizkid. He deserve am. But Wizkid left the context and Wizkid was not going for his family. That was where I faulted Wizkid. That this is wrong. A legend that all of us respected. I was in the village far when I started hearing about FELA. When I started knowing, there's nobody that will say doesn't know FELA. Even all these people that are arguing all these things that say, even all these I don't know FCs or whatever that are arguing all these things that say they don't know FELA, they don't know FELA legacy, they don't know anything about FELA. You have the internet, you have Google. Use your phone, check who is FELA. Find out who FELA is. We are not talking about streams. Nobody is talking about views. Nobody is talking about streams. Nobody is talking about followers. That's not what we are talking about. For instance, now maybe you just wake up one day and say, okay, Chris Brown or probably Chris Brown, Drake, they are bigger than Michael Jackson. You can say that. You can bring out that comparison. Of course, it's on the internet. Chris Brown is bigger than Michael Jackson. Drake is bigger than Michael Jackson because they have followers more than Michael Jackson. Because they have views more than Michael Jackson. But let me tell you, the origin of whatever they are doing is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the pop star. And they can never disrespect Michael Jackson, no matter what happens. No matter how big Chris Brown is, no matter how big Drake is, he can never disrespect Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's legacy lives on forever. I wouldn't have been angry if Wizkid abused Seun from now till next year. I wouldn't have been angry if Wizkid disgraced Seun to the very last. I wouldn't have been angry if Wizkid asked Seun the basic question that, Seun, are you not a human being? Why not you compare with me? Are you not a singer? Are you not a musician? Why not you do what I'm doing? Why are you always using your father as comparison? I would be very happy if Wizkid has gone that length to deal with Seun. But let's be factual. Wizkid deviated, and how did he do that? Wizkid started going for the family of Seun and calling Seun's wife. He said Seun's wife was an ugly woman. He said the woman no fine. Which is, to me, I don't know. I think it is now, you are now out of the line. Seun came for you. Go for Seun. Deal with him. Because he talks anyhow. Deal with him. You would have left FELA legacy out of this. Leave Seun's family out of this. Go for Seun that came for you. Go for Seun. Deal with Seun. Nobody will be angry. But involving Seun's family and FELA into this, it doesn't sit well with me. And I'm going to say it from now till tomorrow. I'm going to say it from now till tomorrow. I don't really care how it sounds, but I'm just going to say it. Okay, just imagine. This man, FELA, died 27 to 28 years ago. 27 to 28 years ago, FELA died. And I must tell you, I'm in Lagos currently. I must tell you that FELA song still bangs even in clubs. FELA song still got streams even up till date. So why are you now comparing FELA? Why are you now saying Wizkid have more streams, Wizkid have more followers than FELA? Why would you do that? This man existed when there was no internet, when there was no streaming platforms. There were no streaming platforms, there was no internet, yet he was able to transcend and break boundaries. He was able to export his music abroad. This thing that you're doing, that you sit in your room right now, you talk, and people are seeing you all over the world, it was not there. This one that you're singing, once you sing and put the streaming platform, people will be streaming. It was not there. This man did it without all these streaming platforms, without all this PR. He was everywhere. And you're comparing him to somebody that is now in a generation where everything is simple for them. Once you sing, put it out there, people will dance to your song all over the world. You're not comparing this person to this other person. Is this comparison necessary? Is it healthy for the Nigerian entertainment? This is causing more harm than good, but a lot of them don't understand. Because with this, you're exposing your background to a lot of people who are not supposed to know a lot of things about you. FELA is a legend that is respected all over. Why are you trying to drag him into this? Why are you trying to make people look at him like this? He is about to be honored with a lifetime award from Grammys this February that is coming now. This same FELA that we are talking about. A legend. Nobody knows him. From the streets, he was able to make his way to the eyes of everybody. Up till today, he still lives on. So I would have been angry with Seun if he goes for Wizkid family. That's totally wrong. Wizkid going for Seun's family is also wrong. Two wrongs does not really make a right. Wizkid was supposed to at least talk to Seun, come, one-on-one, man-to-man. Can Seun match Wizkid energy? No. Wizkid is far bigger than Seun in every way possible. Was Wizkid supposed to cross and talk to Seun's father? No. Wizkid was still supposed to be humble enough to say, okay, I know FELA is bigger than me. Yes. You, Seun, who are you? That was what I was expecting from Wizkid. I love Wizkid. I don't hate Wizkid. What I was expecting from Wizkid is, okay, fine. Yes, FELA is a legend. Yes, FELA is bigger than me. So who are you, Seun? Who are you? That's what I was expecting Wizkid to do. But at the end of the day, Wizkid started going for FELA, which is totally wrong for me. FELA created the platform where you guys are riding on currently. No matter what you think you're doing today, even if you say you are doing Afro fusion, you are doing Afro juju, you are doing Afro Yahoo, you are doing Afro whatever, he created this sound that you guys are now adding other things to it to make whatever sound you want to make. He created the sound. He is the pioneer of the sound, the originator of the sound. The Grammy even stated it very clear that he created the sound that you all are riding on currently. So why not put respect on this man? Seun brought his father out, yes. You as a respected somebody that everybody respects around the world, Wizkid, you were supposed to at least keep FELA's name out of this conversation and then deal with Seun. You were supposed to at least keep the legend's name out of this conversation, because Seun was trying to look for a way to make sure he drags you into this conversation, to drag his, because the only way Seun can talk to you is bringing his father into the conversation, because you know that it's only his father that he can use as a comparison to you. You knowing this, that Seun is trying to bring FELA into this so that he can indict you. You're supposed to leave FELA out of this and then deal with Seun. You're supposed to leave FELA's name out of the whole of this conversation and then ask Seun, who are you without your father? That's what you're supposed to ask Seun, and not to tell the whole world that you're bigger than FELA. How? Why would you do that? You're supposed to ask Seun these necessary questions. That, okay, Seun, yes, I know that your father is big. I know your father is a legend. I know your father created all this. Now remove your father. Who are you, Seun? That's what I was expecting Wizkid to ask Seun. But what did he do at the end of the day? Wizkid started going for FELA. He was not supposed to do that. They are all riding on the platter that FELA said. In fact, let me tell you one thing you don't know. If I even want to talk about Afrobeat legends, I want to call some Afrobeat legends, Wizkid is not even in top 3. Even in top 4. David is not there. Brona is not there. There are these legends that actually created this. After FELA left, there are some people that have held this Afrobeat down, that actually exposed this Afrobeat to external audience before Wizkid, Davido, and Brona came. I'm telling you nothing but the truth. You might not really like everything I'm saying here, but there are some people that will really understand me to the core, that will know that what I'm saying here is not even a joke. People like Two-Face, Idibia, Innocent. People like P-Square. People like D'banj. Now, I want to tell you, these guys have been the real ambassadors who held it down from 2000 down to when Wizkid, Davido, and Burna came. This very issue of this very talk of, okay, they are here performing in London today, tomorrow they are in Paris, next tomorrow they are here, they are everywhere, they are performing everywhere. P-Square started all this. P-Square started putting Nigerian music on the map. Peter and Paul, P-Square, they were everywhere. Tu Baba was there, a legend on his own right. These guys are even there. Even if we want to call legends after FELA, we want to call some legends. Wizkid, Davido, Burna have not even gotten to that level yet. We have to talk about these guys that have actually paved the way for Wizkid, Burna, and David. And which people are we talking about? We are talking about the P-Squares. We are talking about the D'banj. We are talking about the Two-Face Idibia. We are talking about the Timayas. We are talking about the Ice Prince Zamani. We are talking about the M.I. Abaga. What do you mean? We are talking about these guys that when they started doing it, the internet was not strong. These streaming platforms maybe were just starting, or probably they were not even there. They were pushing until they started opening doors. So when Wizkid, Burna, David came into the limelight, there was already soft landing for them to grow. Why not put respect on these people that actually started this? Why not respect these people? Why trying to look at them that, okay, they are not in my level because they don't have the kind of followers you have, they don't have the kind of streams you have, they don't have the kind of listeners on maybe Apple Music or Spotify that you have? Because they don't have the things you have, you're not looking at them that they are not up to your level, but you forgot that these people paved the way before you now have the soft landing to where you are. For instance, when Wizkid started, banking nurtured Wizkid. You cannot even argue this. Wizkid started with EME, himself and Skills. They started with EME. Wizkid Banky nurtured Wizkid. Banky put him through. Although they had their fallout at the end of the day. But have you heard Wizkid one day mention that Banky W was the person that actually showed him the light? Maybe he had his reasons, best known to him. But what I'm trying to say is that these people have a platform where they come in. So because of that, they're able to thrive. But most of these are our guys, people like Timaya, people like P-Square, people like Tu Baba, people like D'banj. These guys, there was no support anywhere. The love was not like what we are having now, like Afrobeat is in the face of everybody. It was not like this. And P-Square was everywhere performing. Everybody loved to sing P-Square's music all over Africa and even across to Asia and other big nations all over the world. These guys were there struggling for this Afrobeat. This Afrobeat struggle has been coming for a very, very long time. And yet you disrespect all these people and call yourself number one simply because today you are one of the biggest in the game. You disrespect all these people's hustle and say you are the biggest simply because one person provoked you, that you are supposed to deal with that person that provoked you. Someone provoked you, you're supposed to go for that person and not making a caricature of every other person that are putting the hustle to get to where they are. I don't know how this makes sense to most people. Even if I'm a Wizkid FC and I love Wizkid to the core, if he said something that I feel that it doesn't sit well, I have to just say the truth. People have put in the sweat and the work for Wizkid, David, and Burna to come and enjoy what they are enjoying today. There was a time that nobody recognized anything African music. But you can agree with me that when Tu Baba dropped African Queen was everywhere. Literally everywhere. Even up till today, still a banger. African Queen is everywhere. This one song brings nations together, brings continents together. People love African Queen. People resonated with the song. It was a big song up till today. P-Square came up with a lot of fire bangers everywhere. They are everywhere in the face of the continent of Africa and even outside the continent of Africa. What are we going to say about D'banj? He's everywhere. What are we going to say about Timaya? These guys hold down the music industry for years before Wizkid, Burna, and David came up. FELA Anikulapo Kuti was the originator who held this sound down for years. He originated the sound. And then there were other generations that took over from FELA before David and Wizkid came into the game. So why are you making caricature of all these guys' effort? Why are you trying to make them feel like what they did was not even actually, it doesn't make sense? Like you're the actual master. You are the one who owns everything. You are the biggest. You are big, yes. We know you are big. You have transcended boundaries. You are everywhere. We know you are big. Nobody is doubting your strength. Nobody is doubting your power. Nobody is saying you're not big. You are big, yes. We know you are big. You're not the only one that is big. David is big. Burna is big. Rema is big. There are several other big artists out of Nigeria that are everywhere in the world. They are doing great things. Nobody is trying to steal your shine. Nobody is trying to say you're not great. Wizkid, you be great musician. You don't do your own. You are good. Everybody knows that you good. We Nigerians, we know that you good. Even outside, they know that you good. But one thing what you supposed to do now, say you supposed give FELA that respect for life. Knowing too well, say this man no be just musician. This man an activist. This man fight government with his music. During military era, wey be say some of una wey me I dey see today now with this character wey una get, so if military should take over Nigeria, none of una go fit open mouth sing or talk anything about the government. With the way I dey see una now, the character wey una dey exhibit now, e dey show say if military take over Nigeria, now none of una go fit sing about the condition of the country. But this fella sing about government when military dey, when Abacha dey power. This same fella sing about Obasanjo when Obasanjo dey hot. This same fella make everybody know say they be criminals. This same fella, he no be just musician, no, the activist. He dey fight for no be only Nigeria. He dey fight for Africans. He's a freedom fighter. He use music as a tool, as a weapon to talk to people all across. What a lot of you cannot do today. What a lot of you cannot do today. That's what FELA did. Some of una dey pay, una dey protect una property, una dey protect una things, una dey protect una investment. So because of that, una no fit talk about bad governance. Una no fit open una mouth to talk about when things dey go wrong for una country. Una no fit talk. And you dey compare yourself to a man wey be say, as him dey sing, dey entertain people, he dey also talk to government. He dey also come out to make sure say he look for way make everybody dey united. You dey also talk to that kind of person. He's not your pedestal, bro. He doesn't just sing about love or probably sing about lifestyle. He sings about every single thing you can ever imagine. What he talks about 27, 30, 40 years ago is still happening now. How do you compare yourself to such a person? How? How? Because you have more streams or more followers than him? Is that why you want to compare yourself to him? To me, it doesn't make sense. And I'm going to say it anyway, any day. It doesn't make sense to me. How many songs have you heard that FELA sample in his lifetime? Go and check FELA, the whole of FELA catalog. How many songs have you heard that FELA sample? This thing that people are doing today, that you're sampling people's songs up and down, up and down, up and down. How many songs did you hear that FELA sample throughout his career? You are even sampling his songs. You are even copying his songs. And yet you want to compare yourself to him. If you were born in FELA's generation, will you be able to fight the military government with your music? It is a question to those of you who are supporting Wizkid, Burna, David, who think the new generation can actually disrespect the old generation that created the way for them. It is a question to you people. I'm just trying to ask you people. If these people, this current generation, wey me at the see, so if they born the time of FELA, wey be say military government dey, you just say they go fit open their mouth sing against the military government? They no go fear for their life. But this is a man who fought during the military era, stood, uses his music as weapon. against the oppressors, and try to help people with his music. And here we are, trying to disrespect him simply because one of his sons that does not have too much sense said something that does not sit well with you. Simply because one of Fela's son that does not have sense says something that does not sit well with you. You are not going for Fela's legacy. No matter how bad what Seun Kuti said, Wizkid shouldn't have crossed to Fela. He should have remained with Seun. The both of you should have faced it. I have said this and I will continue to say it. And I won't change my stand. Not today, not tomorrow, not forever. What Wizkid did was wrong. For saying he's bigger than Fela, I knew that maybe it was as a result of what Seun said, or probably Seun tried to push him too hard. That was why he bounced back at Seun. You shouldn't have done that. You should have respected the legacy, knowing too well that you're a superstar, that a lot of people will see this message when you drop it, and it's going to cause a lot of catastrophe out there. You shouldn't have even dropped it at once. You should have been the silent guy that will always know, or probably go for Seun. Ask Seun, okay, fine, I know Fela is big. Fela is bigger than me. Fela is a legend. Fela is the originator of the sound. Fela is a big name. Now let's remove Fela. Who are you, Seun? That's what you're supposed to ask Seun. To at least keep him short, but not going for the legacy of that man. This automatically means that maybe you are in the side of the FCs. All this while that they are trying to compare you with Fela, or probably trolling Fela, that means you are in the side of the FCs. That's what it's not trying to look like. That's what it's trying to look like. Please, let's learn to respect our legends. And most times I don't blame these Gen Zs that are doing this thing. You see, this young generation that are trying to talk to legends like this, most times I don't blame them. Do you know why I don't blame them? I don't blame them because our government has succeeded in removing history from the educational curriculum in Nigeria. So most of these young children don't even know their history. When you don't know your history, you don't know where you're coming from. You don't know most things that are happening around you. You don't even know the history and the background story to most of these things. Because these Gen Zs that are on the internet trying to talk about Fela or trying to talk down on Fela, most of them, they don't study history in school. They don't even know their history. History has been removed from the curriculum in Nigeria. It is no more there. So how would these young ones know the history of things that happen? You'll be telling them, okay, you're supposed to go and check Google. You're supposed to go and check Google. No, the government is at fault in this. I will fault the government in this. Why do I have to? History was supposed to be one of the most, in fact, history is supposed to be a compulsory subject in our schools. Do you know that we have a lot of history to teach our African children? There is a lot I know that I have to teach people when it comes to history, that a lot of these young people, they don't know. They don't even have idea of it. So by the time a child is born, probably what he sees in front of him is Wizkid. The person he sees in front of him is David. The person he sees in front of him is Brunner. So he believes that these are the people and they are everywhere in the world. So he believes that these are the great people of Afrobeat. Meanwhile, there's no history in school to teach that child that, okay, you see this thing these people are doing now. There's somebody that actually created this sound. Oh. There's somebody that actually started this. Oh. The person started this so yeah. The person died so yeah. Before they now took over. There's no more history. How do we know our history? And it is a deliberate attempt to make sure we don't know our history. You think they don't know what they are doing? You think the government does not know what they are doing? It is a deliberate attempt because this very idea of divide and conquer has eaten deep into Africa. They believe that if they don't divide you, they cannot conquer you. So therefore, they don't want most of these important subjects to exist in our curriculum anymore, because if history is still there and they are teaching this history to these children, they would have known how to come out and talk. They would have probably known where and how and when to talk. They will know how to present themselves in the public. They will know what to say about their history. You ask children today about history, they know nothing about their history. This very issue of not knowing about history is the cause of most of the things that are happening. I hope we learn. I hope we teach our children the right things. I hope we learn. And I hope we teach the younger generation the right things. Or we are creating more troubles for ourselves. You might end up building a legacy and it will be destroyed by these children because they know nothing about you. By the time they come, maybe you have gone already 30, 20 years ago, and nobody is there to remind them, to tell them who you are and what you have built over the years. May God help us. Because if we don't teach these children and let them know where they are coming from, this is going to haunt us in the nearest future. And I'm not even joking. If we don't teach our children history, if we don't tell them about our backgrounds, if we don't teach them about languages, if we don't educate them about ourselves, outsiders will educate them about outside. And by the time coming with that knowledge, it will be very, very difficult for you to correct them anymore. Because they feel what they learned outside is the best. We have a lot to do. Let's teach our children history. Let's tell our children about our legends, about their legacies, and how to preserve them. No matter how great you are, you don't have any power to disrespect a legend, to disrespect an icon. Even if you're 10 times bigger than that icon, according to you, you should know that he did it when he doesn't have the advantage you have. Just as I've said earlier, the streams and the views and the followers you have today, those things were not there when these guys were taking music as a tool, door to door to people all over Africa, all over the continent, and all over the world. For Grammy to recognize FELA after 27 to 28 years of his death, it is not a joke. After person buy how many years when he don't buy, yes, Grammy still recognize and say this person a great person. You know what it means? Yes, in songs still dey bang for club, in songs still dey bang for Lagos here. Everywhere you go, you still hear about am. You think say na joke? We should learn to respect our legends. That's what I'm just trying to say in essence. God will help us. We will train our children to respect and honor the legends. Thank you.